children of all ages, as they say in the circus. Welcome this afternoon to the closing ceremony of the University of South Australia and the International Space University's 2014 Southern Hemisphere Space Program, the longest named program in space. We're very pleased to have you all here with us, and hello to everyone out there in the virtual digital ISU world. I hope there's a lot of people watching. We welcome you all to our closing ceremony. We're very pleased to have you with us, and we're even more pleased to be able to celebrate the conclusion of an extremely successful program. We do recognize that this ceremony is taking place on Ghana land, and we respect their cultural heritage and identity. So it is at this time that it is my very great pleasure to introduce to you the 2014 class of the ISU UniSA Southern Hemisphere Summer Space Program. Give them a big hand. And what a good-looking bunch they are. You should have seen them at 4 a.m. the night the report had to be turned in. They didn't look quite so good. I would like to point out also a very long-standing ISU tradition, dating all the way back to 1988 in our very first program. Our students, if you were here for the opening ceremony, enter behind their own national flags. And yet, it is our ISU tradition in all of our programs that at the end of the program, at the graduation ceremony, all the students enter behind the ISU flag, and it's our way of symbolizing people from all over the world coming together. And I would also recognize Huang Xiang, our flag bearer, who was elected by the class to have the honor of being able to carry the ISU flag. So let's give her a hand. Very well. Getting on with the proceedings. It is now my very great pleasure and honor to introduce to you our occasional speaker this afternoon, Ms. Barbara Hardy. Barbara Hardy is an extraordinarily talented, energetic, and capable person. I don't have time to read the sheet that was given to me. She's been working in the environmental field since the early 1970s. She's been a commissioner of the Australian Heritage Commission, president of the National Parks Foundation, appointed as an officer of the General Division of the Order of Australia in 1987, has received multiple honorary doctorates, and for 2014 was named Senior Australian of the Year. It's my great honor to present to you our speaker, Ms. Barbara Hardy.
I'm fairly tall, but not quite that tall. It's wonderful to be here amongst so many people from so many countries of the world. And what a great job you've all been doing. You'll be able to go back to your countries and pass on a lot of the information that you've come across out here. So I'm very honoured indeed to be involved with you all. I think there are, 35 different groups here. And what you've all been doing, I guess I'll hear a little bit about shortly. My role today is simply to make a very small section, but a big one, because it's congratulating all of you people that have passed that have graduated from what you've been doing the last few years, last few months, or weeks only. I think, is it 9 weeks or 5 weeks you've been here? 5? 5. So, so I think you've all been doing a very great job. I've been involved in, as you probably realise just now, I'm not very young, and I've been involved in trying to fix the world up for a long time. I think it would be about 50 years ago that I took my 2 youngest sons camping in our Flinders Ranges. And while I was out there, we used to go for school holidays. For 7 years we did that, and I used to think, how are we all going to manage this wonderful environment that we've been lucky enough to grow up in? And I'm sure all of you people come from different countries, and you'd feel much the same about the countries you come from. And so what I did then, and I think I was about 50 or something like that, it might not have been quite that old, but I had a degree in chemistry from Adelaide Uni from about 1947. So that'll tell you how old I am. But this was in the early 1970s. So I thought, if I can go back to university and learn more about how to look after the environment, I might be able to do some good. And so I did do that. I went back to Flinders University, actually, and studied earth sciences for 5 years, and began the National Parks Foundation during that time too. And we try to look after the natural environment, because a lot of people don't realise our economy depends on the health of our natural resources. If we can't keep our clean air, our pure water, our healthy plants and animals all healthy, we won't have a very good economy. So what we must all do, and I hope you'll all go back and think about this a little bit when you go home, is look after our natural resources, look after our natural economy, and that will ensure that we have a successful economic result from our country. So I'm honoured to be here to be able to talk with some of you. I think we're going to have a chance to chat later on, and you can tell me about some of your countries. So congratulations to all the people that are graduating today. I think it is absolutely wonderful, and I'm honoured to be here to be able to be with you while that is taking place. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Barbara, for honoring us with your words. One of the things we've tried to teach these folks this summer is that you can achieve many, many things in your life. And I think Barbara Hardy is an excellent example of exactly that. So it is now also my very great pleasure to introduce to you Josh Richards, a student this year who has been elected by his peers to represent his class with the student presentation. So, Josh.
Thank you very much for that, Scott. And I'd like to take this opportunity straight off the bat on the behalf of all of the participants to say a very special thank you to you. Right from the start, 5 weeks ago, you stepped forward and basically became our core Santa Claus. You came out with all these gifts of ideas, of suggestions for white papers, for all these little life tips. So a very special thank you to you right off the bat, Scott. Also like to thank Juan, Juan Di Dalmau as well, who's been an amazing support all the way through. And obviously a very special thanks to Joe Pelton, who was with us at the start as well. Joe, I hope you're watching us online. Very special thank you to all of you. I'd also like to thank Michael Davis, who has been an amazing support as well, provided a lot of support with Uni SA here. And obviously Leslie, our logistics magician, Leonie, who's been providing some amazing food for the last couple of weeks, and Mark McKay, our IT guru, who is repeatedly telling me to slow down. I'd also like to thank all of our volunteer staff, our TAs. So Cynthia, I hope you're watching as well. Thank you very much. Joeta, wherever she has disappeared to, always out there with a very big smile. It's always a pleasure to see you each morning. Edu, with your endless photographs, which has been great. It's great. The videos look fantastic, but it does get a little irritating after a while having a camera in your face. But we still love you nonetheless. And finally, Rob, whose combination of Glad Wrap and spandex will forever be etched into my retinas from last night. So thank you for that, Rob. And of course, a very special thanks to Carol, who's been doing amazing work right before the 5 weeks even started. The extra week with English language side of things has been fantastic. So thank you to all of you. And on behalf of all the participants, I'd like to give a round of applause for all the folks who have managed to make this happen. I won't stand up here and warble too long, because I'm sure after the last 5 weeks you're sick of the sound of my voice. I certainly am sick of hearing myself speak, and I'm going to have a break for about a week of saying nothing at home. Mum and Dad, if you're listening, not going to be talking to you, purely by notes. A lot of people have been asking what this has all been about, whether or not we're here to learn about leadership, about space science, about management, whether or not we're here to produce a white paper. I think it's all of those things. I think it's been all about all of those side of things. But I think the biggest thing that most of us could come away from this is learning a little bit about how to make the world a little bit better. As Barbara pointed out, it's about being able to make the world just that little fraction bit better. The 3 founders who started the International Space University were about being able to create a world that was just a little bit better than it was before they started. I certainly am very proud to be part of the ISU family as of today, and I hope that we can all do Bob, Todd and Peter very proud from this point forward by being able to contribute to the ISU alumni and being able to make our world a little bit better. So to all of the fellow participants and all of the ISU alumni, thank you very much for welcoming us into your family, and I'm going to leave before I warble on any further. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Josh, for those wonderful words. And just so everyone knows, Cynthia has already tweeted thank you. And she says that she's very happy that she left before she heard about Rob and spandex. It's next my very great pleasure to introduce our speaker representing the International Space University, my very good friend, colleague, longtime ISU faculty member, also elected member of the ISU Academic Council, as well as an alumni of ISU. It's my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Juan de Dalmau.
Thank you, Scott. Josh, that was a speech. Joshua, ni hao. Barbara, annyeonghaseyo. Brenton, buenas tardes. Dear alumni, bonjour, buongiorno, buona tarda. Shuprabhat. Boa tarde. Good afternoon. The story I would like to tell you today started a few weeks ago when Scott Madry, Michael Davis, and who are you? Who are you? Leslie? Leslie Grady. They met. And they had to decide who they wanted to invite among the ISU dinosaurs to speak to you today. And they didn't have a better idea than inviting your humble dinosaur. And as a dinosaur, I had the privilege of meeting the three founders that Josh mentioned in the early years of the ISU, Todd Hawley, Peter Diamandis, and Bob Richards. As you know, in 1987, Todd, Peter, and Bob were aged 27. Interesting number. They were students, and they had a vision, and this goes for Barbara especially. They had a vision of a peaceful, prosperous, and boundless future through the study, exploration, and development of space for the benefit of all humanity. And later on, they included exactly these words in the ISU credo, because they believed that ISU is a place where students, faculty from all backgrounds are welcomed, where diversity of culture, philosophy, lifestyle, training, and opinion are not only honored, but nurtured. And that's where we all now belong to, and we're beginning to see the value of belonging to this ISU network. In fact, during the 5 weeks, some of you were coming to us, faculty members, with questions about the network. What do you mean by the network? How can I use it? Well, let me just give you a couple of examples. Joe Pelton was the first dean of ISU. He also met the three founders. He worked with them very, very strongly together in the early years. And today, if you have any question about space telecommunications or about virtually any subject in academics in space, you can call Joe Pelton. Sometimes his email doesn't work, but you can call him. Other participants came to us and asked, how can I get in touch with an expert in astrobiology or in space medicine? And our answer was always, well, we have an alumnus or an alumna working here, working there, who is a specialist, who can open doors for you. Other members of your class came to us and asked, how can I discuss with the European Space Agency the possibility for my country, Brazil, to collaborate in my field? And our answer was very easy. We told them, well, go to your Brazilian Space Agency and talk to the head of international relations, José Monserrat, who is an alum. And José will then call his counterpart, the head of international relations at ESA, Frederick Nordlund, who is not only an alum, but a classmate of José. What better scenario can you imagine to make this idea happen between Brazil and Europe? Another example of the network, there are chances, and I think quite highly probable chances, that in the near future, your manager asks you to prepare a meeting with a Chinese delegation. And I think you are the best prepared to prepare any type of meeting at any level with a Chinese delegation, because you know your colleagues. And your colleagues were chosen to come here because very soon they will be the head of their country. I'm not exaggerating. Just look at Mr. Zhang Qingwei. He studied at the SSP program in 1992. At that time, he was 32 years old, more or less like you. A few years later, Zhang Qingwei became the top leader of CASC, the Chinese conglomerate of space companies. And when he became 41 years old, he was elected the youngest member, full member of the Central Committee of the Communist Party in China. That's the party's top authority. Today, Zhang Qingwei is deputy governor of the Hebei province, an important province just all around Beijing. Do you need anything else to open doors in China? Well, if you do, you can look at, for example, 5 other ISU alumni who are today among the top, in the top positions of 5 different provinces in China. They only have 5 out of 30 provinces, but slowly, and maybe these colleagues will get there very soon. Your management may ask you in the near future to prepare a speech or a hearing for your Minister of Science and Technology who needs to speak in front of your national parliament. Does this ring a bell? Yes, this was an exam question. So you don't need even to think about the answer. Your speech is already written. Oh, did we keep the exam copies? Yeah, okay, they're somewhere. But before this happens, some of you may decide to continue with the path that you have started this year in Adelaide, namely to continue with training. And I think that some of you are seriously thinking of enrolling in the ISU Masters in Strasbourg. Is the Masters useful? Well, you could ask Michael Davis. Michael, you are an alum of the early Masters. And when I look at the photo that you have very proudly displayed at your home with your classmates in the mid-90s, I recognize some of them. Some of them got older faster than you on the photos. But they're all senior. They all have senior positions in industry, in policy, in research. That's a very strong network. But I think Michael's strongest network is the fact that he decided to marry with this university's chief cook. Where is she? That's a very strong network. Do you know many universities where the chief cook decides to marry with the co-director of the program? There's probably only one. Anyway, let's suppose that you are very successful and that you benefit from this network. What can happen next? Well, what sometimes happens is that you decide to help other people be as privileged as you have been. And you can do that in many different ways. An easy way is to encourage other people to come here as participants, or you can decide to encourage experts in your circle to come as faculty or as lecturers because you think they have the right profile. You can also decide to donate your own time to come and help in many different forms. Later on, hopefully sooner than later, you may decide to donate a little bit of money. Without money, this university doesn't work. Or you may decide that it would be a good idea to bring one of these programs to your own country. So you could become a host. Just follow what Michael has done. He has become a host. Talking about hosts, I'm very glad to explain and to announce that the ISU is in very promising talks with South Africa. Hopefully, ISU will be able to announce soon that South Africa will host next year's program, but don't publish this yet. Please don't tweet it. Cynthia, I didn't say anything, but it looks promising. And guess what? Who is the main counterpart in South Africa? Another alum that you all know, Peter Martinez, a senior and very respected person in the space community worldwide. So this is all nice about the network, etc., but I would like to ask you not to forget that a very strong component in your network is here in Adelaide. Don't forget Adelaide. space is also here. And this is something that I would like to convey as a message from the university's headquarters in Strasbourg, France, that the ISU is very proud to be a partner with the University of South Australia, and that this partnership make this program happen. It's really, it needs two partners. So on behalf of Dean Angie Buckley, that you remember, on behalf of Life Sciences faculty member Gilles Clément, on behalf of all my colleagues in the ISU faculty and of the president Walter Peters, I convey the following message to you. I think they want to use the network as well, because they say, we love Australia as a place. I think they want to come back. We would like to have other countries to host this program, but we would like to come back to Australia regularly. So in conclusion, on behalf of the university, I would like to welcome you all to the ISU family. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Juan. I next would like to introduce, representing the other partner of our program, the University of South Australia, Associate Professor Brenton Dancy, to give you some appropriate remarks.
Thank you. I've been asked to keep this very brief. Leslie's got her eye on a watch and a 6:40 plane, I think, for some of you to go to Sydney. So we've got that well and truly covered, I think. Firstly, can I thank Barbara Hardy for honouring us with her presence. Barbara's a real treasure, not only for Australia and the state of South Australia, but for this university. She lends her name to the Barbara Hardy Research Institute, which is one of our major research institutes here in environmental science. In fact, does much more than lend her name. She's an active patron for that research institute, and we are very, very proud of her and what she's achieved. I want to begin by apologising for a lack of a tie. It's 37 degrees outside, folks. It's hot. And maybe I want to say something about the heat. I apologise for the amount of heat that you've had over the last 5 weeks, and I guess I'm talking mainly about the heat outside, but I know the heat's also been on in terms of the pressure that's been on to get things done. I enjoyed the 3 hours that I spent with you yesterday, listening firstly to the white paper and the things that you'd achieved, and the way that you presented that and the ideas that you brought together. I very much enjoyed what was about an hour, and we caused a lot of problems for the cooks of the barbecue because we were so engrossed in the feedback session around the things that worked well and the things that we might do better the next time. So I've enjoyed that time, and I've been very pleased that you have enjoyed your time here in South Australia and in Adelaide at the University of South Australia. I'm delighted that we're able to host this event with you. We have a very strong partnership with ISU, and we certainly look forward to working with them into the future. Just a couple of words as we bid you farewell. Firstly, when last year we did the review of the first 3 years of the program, we did contact all of the alum and say, what have you been up to? And as Juan indicated, and as I think I shared a little bit with you yesterday, the alum from this program amazed us by the sorts of things they told us about that they'd gone on to do. That they're, some of them, as is the case for some of you, work in the industry or closely related to the industry, but many of you don't. And a great number of them had stories to tell about the way that this program had inspired them, captured their interest in space-related things, and then were able to say, and we went on and did this or that or the other. So that's what I hope for you, that what we've done is given you some good training, some things to think about, a network, some people to contact, and Juan has talked about that. the other piece of advice that I've got that I feel I need to give you after hearing about the episodes of last night a little bit is an old saying about what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and I suggest that given we're now with a worldwide audience, that we probably leave it at that and suggest that you do like. Can I finish by thanking the people, and we will formally do this in a moment, but thanking the people who have put the program on, to Michael and to Scott and to Leslie and to all of the staff of the university, those who've been involved in up front in delivering sessions, and to people behind the cameras, and to people supplying the food, and to Carol for the work that she's done, and to all the international faculty who again honour us by your presence. I well understand the interest of the ISU and the academics in seeing that this program runs in Australia again a little bit later on. They descend upon us in January for 5 weeks, and they seem to have a ball, and it's a lot of hard work, but they really are enthusiastic. As you told me yesterday, they're really enthusiastic about what they do. They're prepared to come and talk to you, and the sort of range of people that you've had to talk to over lectures and shoots and lunches and public events and those sorts of things is an amazing experience to put everything in 5 weeks. So I just want to say thank you to all those people, and as I said, we'll do that more formally in a minute. So thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Brenton, and we do indeed love coming to Australia. But you can turn the thermostat down just a little bit next time. So we're now at that portion of our program when it's time that I'm going to ask the class of 2014 to please exit the hall, because this is the time that we'll ask you to please reorder yourself and come back in for the conferring of the diplomas and certificates. So if I could please ask the students, yes, you may stand up and walk that way. And while we're doing that, I'll just hold up for our web audience a copy of the final presentation and the executive summary, which we have available in English and Chinese, and on our website, also in Korean, and that these are available electronically through ISU already. So I would now like to invite my dear friend, the long-suffering co-director of our program, Michael Davis, to read the names for the conferring of the diplomas.
Thank you, Scott. I'll call out the names alphabetically, and those graduates who also participated in our Space English Access course will also receive their certificates from the coordinator of that course, Ms. Carol Carnett. So the first student is Graham Bell. Graham Bell. Graham Bell. Third time lucky. Alexander Bowen Rotzart. Misael Chagas. Carl Clancy. Fiona Collins. Adelia Darlene Drago. Sarah Fitzjohn. Erin Garor. Wang Xian. Dr. Baptiste Journeau. Dr. Marc Gerblom. Lee Sung Yun. Michael Leslie. Professor Lee Yong. Li Shu Feng. Lu Haibin. Lu Yafeng. Marcelo Veloso Magalhães. Andrew Nicol. Chung Bo. Marco Riali. Joshua Richards. Rodrigo Rodriguez. Alexandra Ryan. Magali Sandoval. Rose Tasker. Leon Traves. Vikram Udwaya. Wang Wei. Angela Wong. Professor Yang Lung Kui. Yang Shu Mang. Zhang Tai Hua. Professor Zhao Cheng Jiang. Zong Ye. Okay. And finally, ladies and gentlemen, I'd ask Erin Goror to come forward again to accept the certificate for the outstanding academic achievement in the program. So please congratulate Erin Goror. Thank you.
All right, let's give our class of 2014 a big hand. Congratulations, everyone. They did a great job, so congratulations to all of you. We have at this time a special treat for all of you. Our most excellent staff member, Edu, among his many skills and duties, has been our official videographer for the program, and he has put together a retrospective closing video, after which you guys can go. Okay? So let's hit the lights and take a look at what we've done over the past 5 weeks.
In Adelaide, Australia, 2014, 35 students from 10 different countries came together. They were coached by an incredible array of experts to produce a white paper, Our Turbulent Sun. We also learned how to work hard.
What is this I'm feeling? If you wanna leave, I'm with it. We've come too far to give up who we are. So
We learned how to talk about space,
Hey everybody,
Space 아니 못 사.
we're back.
Removal of space to the oceans.
That's
Bye.
and we learned how to deal with other cultures.
I'm up all night to get lucky. We're up all night to the sun. We're up all night to get some. We're up all night for good fun. We're up all night
Or something like that.
Well, it's 4 a.m., but it feels like 10. Ain't been to sleep since I don't know when. And some new country, and I hear it again. just the time zones talking, I know. If I ever get back to Chapel Hill, I'll stay awake in the daytime, and at night I'll sleep right there. Oh yeah, you know I will. It's just the time, it's just the time zones, it's just the time zones talking. Don't pay no mind, just do the time. It's just the time zones talking. It's just the time, it's just the time zones, it's just the time zones talking. Don't pay no mind, it ain't no crime. It's just the time zones talking to me. Why won't my body just let me see? What damn town is this supposed to be? Somebody give some melatonin to me. It's just the time zones talking. It's just the time zones talking. It's just the time zones talking. It's just the time zones talking again.
Messiah, my Messiah, where are you? Where are you? Oh. My Messiah, where are you? The last part's hard to explain. You had to be there. I think 4 of you guys need to catch a plane, so you better go. Let's all say goodbye to 4 of our compadres who've got to catch a plane. They're leaving tonight. Everybody give them a big electronic hug. See you guys. See you next time. Okay, I now have the honor of again presenting to you Professor Brenton Dancy to thank the program staff.
Thank you, Scott. I've already said broad thank you, but I just want to reiterate on your behalf a thank you to all of the staff that have contributed in the various ways. We're going to be saying thank you to some of the core staff members, but I think it's appropriate that you join with me in thanking everybody that's contributed to such a successful program. So let's do that. I think the video again highlights what I said before about what happened in Adelaide should stay in Adelaide, but it also highlights some skills of some of these staff that were not apparent to me before I watched it. So I shall watch it again when it no doubt reaches the top of the pops on YouTube very shortly. So just to end, I'd like to say particular thanks to the core group of staff who've been here helping you through, and again, as we saw in the video, it was all hands on in some sense for 5 intensive weeks. And so I'm just going to call each of these core members up to, I think, receive a small token, which Leslie has lovingly prepared. So I'd like to begin by inviting Professor Scott Madry to come forward and accept a gift. Mr. Michael Davis.
Michael.
Mr. Wandi Dalmel. Miss Carol Carnett. Thank you for all the hard work. Mr. Mark McKay. Thanks very much, Mark. Great effort. The students said yesterday they couldn't believe how well things work logistically with IT and all those sorts of things, and great job. Mr. Rob Hunt. Miss Joyetta Chatterjee. Thanks very much. Thank you so much. Thank you. Mr. Edu Emmerich. Great job. Great job. Thank you very much. And Cynthia Chen, I think, is back in Melbourne, and we will make sure that we post hers back to her. So once again, thank you very much.
Well, folks, that's all there is. There ain't no more. We threw everything we had, including the kitchen sink, at these 35 amazing people. And they did everything we asked them to do. They performed superbly. And we are extremely proud to welcome you all into the ISU family. So congratulations to you for the excellent work that you've done. Give them another one big hand. Way to go, guys. It is now my distinctly bittersweet duty to call this program to a close. But the only thing that makes it less so is the fact that on June 9th of this year in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, ISU will begin our next program, the SSP program, the 9-week program, and we'll get to start doing this all over again with another crowd of people who have absolutely no idea of what they have in store. So we thank you all for joining us online. We thank you all for coming here to us. Especially we thank the class of 2004 for your superb work. It's now my pleasure to officially close this proceedings and end this 2014 session. And I invite all of you to please join us upstairs for a cocktail and drinks to celebrate the class of 2014. So thank you very much.